Hey everybody, we're live. So sorry about the little delay. Couldn't get access to my webcam, and I think I have to blame my 6-year-olds. So, yay and hello, good morning. How is everybody this morning? And
I'm
then how are you, Autumn? I'm so awkward. Like I'm the worst live streamer ever. Like I don't know why I do this because I'm so awkward. I'm like, hi, oh crap, there's people actually watching right now.
yeah. Oh, no, it's so much more fun when you have like a co-host. I feel like it's a little more awkward when you do it by yourself, but when you have a co-host, you kind of have someone to like ping pong off of. So no, you're totally fine. But I'm good. I've got my coffee. I finished my breakfast shake, and I need to refill my water.
I need to make my coffee. I need to wipe the dresser indentation off my face. So for you guys that don't know this situation, I got super ready to do this like earlier this morning. And then I fell asleep and I had my computer set on like a dresser and I laid my head on like the printer on my dresser and I fell asleep. And so I'm pretty sure there's like dresser or like printer right here. So I need to make more coffee and get ready and prepared for the stream that I scheduled. Um, but why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to anybody that doesn't know who you are?
Sure. So, hello everyone. I'm Autumn Ashley. I'm also an author tuber here on YouTube. I post writing related content, vlogs, and I love to do like monthly goals. And I actually did a Q1 goal for 2021 because I wanted that to replace like doing them monthly. But I have a really fun video that's going to come out later this week. It's a collab video. I've never done one before. I know, I'm super excited. And I'm also working on a YA fantasy novel called Project Brina, and it's basically about a princess who is trying to save her father from the secret cult that is overthrowing her kingdom. And I'm hoping to finish, yes, I'm hoping to finish, I love it, I love the story, but I'm hoping to finish it by the end of March. So that's the goal. I have about 30,000 words left to write. Super excited.
That is super exciting. Although, what's really funny, I don't know if you know that I'm also writing a novel about a cult, but it's like modern day, and it's like a secret cult, and like the chick like ran away from it, and the guy that runs it kills people. So it's. But I love cults. I mean, okay, I don't love cults because they're bad, but they're fascinating subjects to write about, I should say.
Yeah, there's because it's like there's such a real thing that people don't like to talk about, but like cults are like they're like really cool. Like I know that's weird to say, but and especially like I love it when you don't know who's part of the cult, where like you're like growing to like love like a character or somebody, and then you're like they were part of this all along. Like I had no idea.
Did you hear? Not for those going to take this in a really strange place, but did you read anything about that? Like there was that cult that recently came out and had like all these celebrities that were a part of it, and like that girl from the girl from Smallville from the '90s was like a part of this like crazy cult. And there's two shows that came out recently, one on HBO. And then there was one on Showtime about because it was literally like this just came out and the cult leader was just like sentenced, I think, like life in prison last year.
Oh, wow.
But like when you're watching this documentary about it, right? I was messaging one of my good friends and I was like, okay, this sounds really weird, but like I think I would end up in like I wouldn't be in this cult. Like I am like the prime person for them to be like, hey.
Yeah, right.
You can see like how they are so easily able to manipulate people. Yeah. I'm like, wow. But like it's like very based on the like clearly they stole stuff from like Tim Robbins and like you hear about like there's just all the like self-helpy type things that are said all the time is like what they were preying on people and like what they were teaching them. And you can see like how they slowly systematically break people down. And it's like we like to think that we could never be a part of that. But as you're watching this documentary, you're like, wow, that sounds so good. Why am I nodding my head right now? And then after like 3 episodes, then they go into like the really dark stuff, and you're like, oh, that's bad. That's right. Cults are bad. Yes. Not doing cults.
Right.
Anyways, got some comments. Hi, Jessica. Morning, Bree. That's me telling people that I'm here. So we'll skip that one. Hi, Simon. I love your what was that, like your avatar? I love that.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we're both doing great. See, Autumn does live streams all the time. I think I've done three. One of them, there was a lot of wine involved. So, but I don't think it's appropriate to bring the wine out. It's 6:30 in the morning right now. So I don't think it's an appropriate time yet.
But life is too short. So, if you want the wine at 6 a.m., I don't judge. That's totally you.
We're not going to come on my stream, and I'm not going to be advocating for cults and drinking wine at 6:30 in the morning.
It is what it is.
So what are you going to be working on during your sprint? Are you going to be working on writing? Are you editing?
Yeah, so for the first sprint, I think I'm going to go through my planner and make sure I have everything planned for the week. I want to update my writer's board for everything that I need to do, my to-do list for everything that has to be going on for this week. And then later on, like for all the other sprints that we'll do today, I am going to do some writing for Project Brina and try to finish the chapter I've been working on.
That's awesome. So I should be doing, so when I do the live streams when I'm writing, I have to write by hand because my computer can only handle like one thing at a time. So instead of writing, because really all I have to start working on is editing. So I finished my last project. So I've been working on my not my novel, but my script for a TV show, and I finished that during one of my last live streams. And now it's supposed to be edited, but I just haven't I put it on hold. Like I'm just not ready to like dig into that yet. But I do have oh great, my battery's running low. I should probably plug that in. I do have two books that I have to read like yesterday, and so I'm gonna try to finish Can't Catch My Breath. I've been reading that Sarah's book. It is so good.
Did you get an ARC read?
What was that?
Did you get an ARC?
I did. Yeah, it's so good. I mean, technically, I was supposed to be proofreading it, but one, I didn't start reading it in enough time, and two, she has 0 errors, so like, there's nothing to proofread. So
Sarah is awesome.
I'm just ARC reading it.
Yes.
But it's really good. And then I have another book. I can't say what it is because it's the one that I'm probably going to put in the February book box. So for you guys that don't know, I do run a book subscription box called the Indie Bookworm. So yeah, maybe I should do my own introduction because I think there are people here that might just be like popping in and out. I'm Mara. I do terrible live streams. I do make pre-recorded content and I attempt to vlog. But I have, my goal this year is to have 3 videos every week. This is going to replace the vlog that would normally come out on Sundays. I started doing a vlog and then, how should I put this? Our country went a little crazy and I stopped vlogging this week because I just didn't have like the mental capacity to be able to do anything but sit. And so I don't have a vlog coming out this week, but every Sunday usually there's a vlog that comes out and then 2 sit-down videos is like the goal. But I run a book box so for indie authors. So every month there's a new indie book, not new, like they could be brand new releases or they could be out for like 5 years, but it's a different indie book that goes out every month with some fun like goodies and stuff. So I actually have a couple things that I need to do because those needed I have them boxed up. I just have to fix like the labels and stuff, and those are going out. Well, not today because it's Sunday, but those are going out. I have to get the labels printed, and those are going to go out tomorrow. But then I have to start working immediately on February's book box. So I have to finish reading the book that I'm reading because I'm 99% sure that this is one that's going to go in it, but I read every book. And I still have to finish reading that one. Because you don't want to get like, okay, great, this book is all the way, it's perfect, it's wonderful. And then you get to the last like 2 chapters, and then you realize that it goes in a really bad way, or it's like, I don't know, super problematic in the last like chapter or something. And then be like, yeah, I totally endorse this book. So I have to read everything. So I have to finish that one and then message the author and be like, yes, your book is good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And so yeah, let's go ahead. How long do you want to sprint for?
Did you want to do like a 15-minute warm up?
Yeah, we can do that. That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and do 15 minutes. So I still am not great at figuring out how to put the little timer. So we'll probably do that on the next one, but I usually just put sprint ends at. I can't do that math. Let's see, 15 minutes would be. Okay, got it. Okay. Oh, what did I do? Okay, got it. All right, let's go ahead and start 15 minutes, you guys.
Awesome.
Okay, so that is the first 15-minute sprint. So I just made my coffee. That's basically all I did. I read 2 pages and I made my coffee. And so I recently set up like my office because I work from home now too, and so I had to like set up my like space. So I have like all my coffee stuff in here, so I don't have to like get on Thursday morning and wake up the whole family just because I need coffee early in the morning or something. Well,
Yeah.
I have this like thing of like the non-dairy or like the the creamers that don't need milk. I just opened one up and I'm like pouring them into my coffee. I need like 4 of them because the coffee is really gross. And I just poured them in and tossed them in the trash. And then I opened one up and luckily I caught myself. I almost poured the creamer into the trash can. I don't like skipping the step of putting it in the coffee and then into the trash. It was just like open trash. There you go. Luckily I did not, so I don't have creamer all inside the trash can. But I recently started like going back on like a keto diet, and I found this coffee that has like all like the butter and the MCT oils and all the stuff you're supposed to put in it. And it's such a great idea in theory, but the taste is absolutely disgusting.
Oh no.
It's so bad. Like it is like the first time I drank it, I was like, okay, this is gonna taste so good. Like I even vlogged it, I think, and it's in the vlog that I don't know what to do with because like I've got clips here and then like I don't still clips for like a day and a half. But I think I was like, I'm gonna vlog like my first experience drinking this, and it's so gross. But you put a few creamers in there and then some vanilla flavor and it's just better. Um, I also was like eating the dinner because they're like, what are you having? And I told them it was macaroni and cheese. They're like, that's not macaroni and cheese. It was like cauliflower cheese on top. I was like, shut up, you beautiful little child. Like, if mommy wants to call this mac and cheese, it's mac and freaking cheese, okay?
Yes.
Anyway, so how did you do during this sprint?
Good. I make sure everything that was in like my physical planner that I keep like with me. I made sure that matched my Google Calendar because I keep like everything in like 2 different places. Just like if I don't have one, I have the other. Like I don't know. It's like a weird thing.
No, that makes sense.
I like to do it that way because like you always have your phone with you, but like you don't always have like your physical planner. So I have both. And then I think for the next sprint, I'm just going to update my writer's board. I didn't get a chance to do that because I did refill my water. And then I talked to my mom for a second because she woke up. So I just wanted to say, good morning. How are you, you lovely flower? And then we had a nice little conversation.
That is so sweet.
Thank you.
Hello, Madeline. Oh no, I didn't even realize I scheduled something at the same time that Zara had a stream. Oh my goodness. I like don't know what everybody in the world is doing. I was just like, hey, 6:30, I can be awake at 6 o'clock. Yeah. I was not awake at 6 o'clock. I was sleeping on my printer. But that's so awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you came in to say hello.
Yay.
Yeah, so I just read like 2 pages and almost started crying. Like I have a feeling you guys, I'm only in the second chapter and I'm already like tearing up. I'm like, there's going to be ugly crying on the stream if I continue reading her book. I'm okay with like when I put on the thing on my Instagram for my book box saying like the book I wanted for February. Was I asked for recommendations for a romance that was going to make me cry. Like I was like, if somebody dies, that's okay. Like if it will break my soul, that is okay.
Yeah,
like, I just want to traumatize the customers that pay money. So like send me recommendations, whatever is the most like I'm okay with feeling bad in books. I don't know. It's even if sometimes you need a happy ending, sometimes you need a good ending, and somewhere in the middle if you cry, it's okay. Like have you I was thinking I want something that's like the book version of A Star Is Born. Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie.
My soul was ruined. Like there was a part of my soul that has forever been gone. But like I love that movie so much that when the year I watched that, I think I watched it like literally like 50 times that year. Like, but I would stop it at a certain point. Like I watched it all the way up until a certain point, and then I'm like, if you end up here, it's almost like there could be a happy ending. But I wanted like something that would leave my heart just in shatters. So I still have to kind of finish reading that book, and I'm really crossing my fingers because I said, I want a book that will ruin me. And this is the book that was recommended. So fingers crossed that I will be crying ugly tears of apparently both Sarah's book and this other one today. So.
Oh my gosh, that's exciting.
It's so good though. Because, like, do you have an art copy of it?
I don't.
So it comes out in a couple weeks, but like, I mean, it's not like spoilery because she's talked about it on like her stuff, and I think it's even on the blurb. But the main character is like overcoming like the death of somebody close to her. So every time she talks about it, it's like, it's like a mom. Like I'm just like, I don't want people to be sad.
Yes, I know.
It's so like sad.
Oh my goodness.
Hi,
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay, so let's go ahead and do another one then. Well, first, explain your author board. You've mentioned that a couple of times. What is your writer board? What is your writer board?
My writer's board? Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's this cute little board that I put on the wall back there. And it has all of like my writing stuff on it, like anything that has to do with like my novels, like my book TBR, anything that's like AuthorTube related to like keep me on track. I put it up there to separate it from like my everyday life. It's like all my writing stuff. So it has a cork board on one side and then like a dry erase board on the other side. On the dry erase, I change that like every week for like my to-do list for things I have to do for AuthorTube, or if I need to write for an hour, I put that there so I can like check it off. It's like a bullet point.
That's a great idea. That is such a great idea. It's kind of what I had in mind. So I actually made those little like cookbooks behind me. It's just cardboard, and I bought this you can't really tell from far away, but it's like this faux leather like contact paper that I just wrapped around it. That one was supposed to be for like writing stuff, but it really just has a bunch of pictures on it. And then because that was supposed to be work stuff, like stuff for like work.
Yeah.
But really, like it's supposed to have like my week over week stuff. It has like an update of like what my panel time, which is like how long the first panel follows. But that's so outdated. I need to take it down. The rest is basically just a shrine to my best friend. Because when we worked in the office, like she sat right next to me, and so she would like we write each other little notes like when we're leaving or in the morning or just like whatever. And I save all of those. And like there are notes from other people, but 90% of it is just from Quinn. And so I saved them all. So when I started working from home, I just put up all my Quinn notes. So I have what's supposed to be a writer related thing, and then I have my shrine to my bestie.
I love that.
And then that is that's my fairy tale corner. You can see. So that's what they need is like supposed to be and then I can put and stuff. But yeah, I have a board on the other side that you can't see that also is a Kanban board that I made just like those ones. But I made it in January of last year and I never uploaded it. Like I still have half the sticky notes that have been up there since January of last year. So maybe that's something I'll do. I'll read for a little bit and then maybe during one of the streams I'll like try to update that or at least take the old ones down or something.
Yeah. And then like if I get like cards from like my other like AuthorTube friends like in the mail because like we're retro sometimes we'll like do that. I put those on the board too. So I have a letter from Helene, Maddie, and then Bree sent me a Christmas card and I haven't put it up there yet, but I'm gonna go put that up there like in the middle of the next sprint.
That's great. Yeah, I have a couple of things like that too. I have I have one that like I save everything. Like if they're always like, what would you save in a fire? I'm like, I can't have a fire, okay? Like we can't have this conversation. I save everything. So like let's just not have a fire, okay? But I've got letters like that. I just have one from Sarah, and then I had another one from somebody else that I pinned up. But I love the idea of like pinning up stuff from like your friends or again, like my friend Bunny over there. Just especially like with COVID and like not being able to go out and not being able to see everybody, it's nice to have like, especially when it's handwritten. Like I love that you have handwritten like letters and stuff from your friends. I don't think we do enough of that. In fact, I found there was a gorgeous stationery that you can just download, that you can buy on Etsy and download. So in the last book box for what was last one? December, I actually printed out stationery, and one of the things that I put in there was stationery and told people write an actual letter and send it to the people that you love because this year has been crap.
I love that idea.
Yeah,
Gosh.
and it's so great, like, because I've looked for stationery, but if you look for like actual stationery in like a store, it's expensive. And even the ones like on Etsy, you can buy really nice, pretty stationery, or you can just buy a digital file from an Etsy seller for like $2 and print it out on your own paper and write letters to your friends and send it out. Because a stamp is like, what is it, like 20 cents?
Yes. Yeah, and I have like extra stamps, so I'm like, I need to like use these. Like my Christmas stamps.
And so many people are like, what is a stamp? Like, where do you put a stamp on an email? I don't know. Is that like a sticker on Instagram?
And I love handwritten letters because
I
there's
do
just something
too.
so personal about it. Like, it's so different from sending a text message because like we send hundreds of thousands of text messages in a day. But it's like to sit down and to like write a letter to somebody and then like put all like their postage on it and then find the stamp. Like, it's just so I love it. Like, it's so like I'm sorry, I'm trying to like think of a word to like describe it, but it's like there is no way to describe it because it's personal, and then like you're taking the time to like actually think about what you're saying because like you can't mess up or you have to like scribble it out.
Right? Oh my god, I know. Like, so I'm much older than you. So when I like, it just makes me think like, I mean, obviously, like the internet was around when I was little, but like not the way it is now. Like, as I mean, I'm 35, so like, no, I'm 36. How old am I? I'm 35. Okay. um, so like when I was in high school, I used to get letters from my cousin. Like we would write, that's what we would do. Like when we wanted to bitch about my mother, like we couldn't text each other. Like I was the first, okay, I was like the first person in my high school to get a cell phone, and I was a senior, and I thought I was the coolest freaking kid ever because like nobody had cell phones, okay? Like that was not a thing. And
Yeah.
it was like the little square thingy that was like this big, and you could text on it, but like texting was just starting to come out, and like you used to have to pay 10 cents a text
Yeah.
message. I'm making myself seem so old because I am. But I remember being in school and be like, "Hi, look at these people!" Like, oh my god, I'm so cool. But yeah, like that's what you did is you wrote letters to your friends. You wrote letters like, away for the summer. You'd like go to the mailbox and wait to see where all your friends are because like, I lived in I would visit my dad during the summertime. So I would like make my friends send me letters to know what was going on with them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you would send a text message way back then, like it was like you had to hit the same button like 3 different times to get to see.
So many times. So many times. And then when they came out with like predictive text, it was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I'm like, okay, I remember when a phone that flipped out and had the keyboard all the way out was like the coolest freaking thing that had ever been invented. Was the like flip out thing, and you like flip it out, and you'd be like texting, and then all your friends that didn't have that would be like, "Oh, I'm so jealous."
Yes.
And then it was like, I don't know, it was so funny. And then I moved up here in like 2007, and that was like one that was still no. I moved up here to Oregon in 2009, and that was still like a cool thing. And then I just didn't have a phone for like years. And like iPhones were a thing back then, but they were like so expensive. Like not really that many people had them. And I went like 5 years without a cell phone.
Yeah.
And like I finally got one, but if I had to like call somebody, I'd ask a friend at work like, "Hey, can I use my phone?" Like, because I had a house phone. Can I use a phone to call my husband? And my friend would hand me this like smartphone. I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, how do I open this thing? And now we're like 2021, and like our phones are robots.
Yes.
Robots.
Yes. And then it's like if you go somewhere, like certain places still have like the payphones, and it was so funny. We went to a place, I can't even remember where we went, but there was a payphone. And my dad was like, "Oh, I bet you don't know what that is." And I said, "It's a payphone." And yes, I know what that is. It's like, I'm young. Okay, I know I'm young, but I'm not that young. I've
Right.
seen you use them.
I've seen you use that. I've never used it myself, but I've seen this. Hey, excuse me. I watch old movies. I've seen that in the movies. Okay.
Okay, like get off my case.
Oh, hi. I'm so happy that you're here, even for just a minute. Were your ears ringing? Because we were talking about you, Sarah. In a great way. I was just discussing that for my part of the stream, I'm reading your book, and it's wonderful, and it's going to make me ugly cry, which is both a good and embarrassing thing. So thank you for that. But yeah, so payphones are they were a wonderful thing. Now, I mean, I don't even remember the last time I even saw a payphone.
Besides in a movie.
Right, in a movie. Oh my god. And I mean, here's the thing though, like, without a payphone somewhere, where is like Superman supposed to change? Like, if you remember the old Superman cartoons, he would go into like the payphone and then he'd come out, like he'd go on his Clark Kent and he'd like come out as Superman. So like, where's he supposed to change his clothes now?
That is like I've never thought of that before, but that is really funny.
One thing about being a parent that's wonderful is that you can basically trick their baby brains into just loving all the things that you love by just like my kids for the first like 4 years of their life. I'm pretty sure they thought it was 1990 because they just watched all the shows, the movies, and stuff that we watched when we were kids, and so they love all the things that we love. It's so great. Like, one of their favorite movies is The Brave Little Toaster, which is like this cozy movie about a toaster that goes on an adventure to find the master.
Yeah.
It's a toaster. Like, a toaster can just walk around. But they love that movie. But they're really into Superman right now. So it's that thing that was in my brain. I was like, where is he gonna change? Last night, one more story, then we can do our explain. So my kids have watched, like, they get into these modes where they will watch nothing but one thing. And right now it's old school, like 1940s Superman cartoons, to the point where they know the song. And they'll just like hear it, or they'll like sing it constantly. Literally run around the room singing the like intro to the song. And so last night my kid was like humming the song, and so I start humming it with him, and he covers me and he goes, "No, mom, only I get to sing it."
Oh my god.
So the method that I keep trying is to cover my mouth so I can't sing to him.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. See, I'm not the only one that thought that. It's our
yes.
Where would Superman change? I am so glad that I'm not the only one that asked that question. And then Sarah is very happy that she's going to break my soul pretty soon with her book. So that's wonderful. So how long do you want to sprint for this time?
Do you want to do like a 20-minute?
That sounds fantastic. And we're going to actually try. So we are going to try doing the whole Google timer thing because I've never done that. So
yeah,
let's just try it. Share screen. There we go. Okay. So I can't figure out how to turn off the thing showing all my bookmarks on the top of my browser. So you may see that. It's actually quite hilarious. 90% of these bookmarks are ones that my kids came up with, like VTech America. That's like a toy brand. And like something called Kate's character birthdays. It's like pictures of like character birthday things. I have no idea. So yeah. So application. No. No. Chrome tab. That's probably what it wants. There we go. Share. See if I'm doing this right. I am. Oh my goodness. Learning things. Fantastic. Yay. Okay. And then let's see. Before we do that, I think we also saw the fit into a phone box. And I think in the new ones, I think they probably explain, like, because I don't know, do they show him changing from being like Clark Kent into being Superman, or is he just like cutscene now he's Superman? I have to rewatch all of the more modern movies to see how they approach Like, does he just like have a Superman suit on underneath his clothes all the time? Like, how does he change? Like, how does he change into Superman now? I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch. But yes, I think he probably is too tall to fit into the film.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's see, 20 minutes sounds good. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and do 20 minutes. And I've learned how to share my screen, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and start now. Okay, so that is the end of the sprint. Oh, I figured it out. Oh, I like beat session. There you go. Are you off? Yeah. And apparently I turned myself off. There we go. What do you know? Eventually I'll figure this good thing out. Okay.
Oh, you're doing great.
So how did it go?
So for that sprint, I finished updating my writer's board. So everything on there is taken care of. I was able to sit down and write for a little bit of that sprint as well. And I wrote 169 words.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
What about you?
I finished chapter 2 and started chapter 3 and almost cried, but I did not. And then I looked for my phone, couldn't find it, and I decided what I was going to do with the vlog that I've been doing like basically since the beginning of the month. Is I'm just like I started a new one, so I muted the camera and I was like, we're just starting fresh. But I don't know what I think I might do, and I kind of said it in like the intro to the vlog is like I'm just gonna start over, do a writing vlog next week, and then but I might like show some of the clips of what I'd already filmed, but they're so sporadic where I was like, I'm going to be super productive today and I'll film stuff. And then like I would get so busy that I wouldn't film another clip for like 2 or 3 days. So I do that a lot. I have a lot of starts to vlogs.
Vlogs are hard to like keep up with. Like if you're doing a whole lot, it's hard to like vlog everything because then you have like so much video footage. But then like you have the other side where you're like, I'm gonna vlog today, and then you don't have like anything to vlog, and then you're like, well, this is awkward.
Right. Well, the problem I have is just because like so much of my like life I can't really film. Like I don't put my kids on camera. And so like they're sleeping right now, so like I can do stuff. But when they wake up, they're like, focusing to be on, entertaining the small humans and keeping them from like, hurting each other and, keeping them alive. And I
Right.
don't put them on camera. Like I don't. And so I can't vlog anything. Like once they're awake, it's like I'm done. And also like working, I can film, but I have to get really creative when I'm working throughout the day because I can't show my computer screen at all because customer information. And so I have to be really creative with like where I can put like the camera and stuff. And I also like lost a lot of like I had a lot of momentum last year and then I lost it. And it's so silly. But I spent money on like a really nice camera and I loved it. And like I joked that I love it more than I love my husband, which is slightly true. And then I lost it. But like and when I lost the camera, like I don't know where it went. Like it just disappeared. And I just lost the momentum to keep vlogging because and it was the stupidest reason. Like, so what? I vlogged with my phone for years. I made all my videos with my phone, but my phone camera was not working. And it just was like I just didn't have the drive anymore. And then I was cleaning out my stuff and I found my camera. I was cleaning up this office space on Christmas Eve and it was like, I know what I did is I think I set it down on top of something and I think it like fell into a box. And I literally tore this entire like house apart for months. Like months I tore and I looked through everything and I feel like I looked at this thing like 3 times and didn't even know it was there. But so now I'm like, yeah, my camera, I have to vlog again.
Yep.
So I just kind of remind myself, like, how do I use this thing? Like, how do I actually talk to a camera when I'm not like sitting down to just like talk or sit down video? But
Yeah.
so lots of starts to vlogs. So I think this one is going to be like a reading vlog because that's what I'm working on right now. And I'm just going to continue reading. This book is really good. It is really good. It's sad, but it's good.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of comments. I think Jessica was explaining to us. I kind of popped them up, but I'll put them back on again. So before we were trying to figure out how Superman changes his clothes in the new ones, and Jessica informed us that he does keep it underneath his clothes, at least during the Justice League ones. And then, oh, Sylvia, I'm so glad you were here. Hi. Oh, thank you so much for reminding people to hit the like button. I love you so much if you're still here, Sylvia. Um, so thank you. She's like the queen of live streams. Like her and her best friend Lauren are so good. They would do live streams. I think they used to do Sundays too. And like they're so good at reminding people like to hit the like button and do all the things, and they're so professional. And like I did a live stream with her once, and she had like notes and like bullet points, and I just show up. I'm like, hi. Oh crap! There's people I need to like talk to.
Yeah, yeah, it's a curve. Like if you do a lot of like content videos and then you do a live stream, it's like completely different. Or if you do like a lot of live streams and then you're like, I want to make more content videos, then you run into like the same problem, just like it's just flipped. Like that's me. Like I started out doing like a whole bunch of live streams, like, and I love live streaming because they're so fun. I love talking to the people in the community. I always get a lot done in live streams, but I feel like I want to post more like content videos.
Mhm.
And like where my life is, I can't do a whole bunch of both. So I'm like, I can either do one or the other. So I'm trying to push more of like content videos out and then pull back on the live streams just to see if that's going to work. But I still love doing live streams and I can't not do them. Like, I feel like I have to always do live streams. Like if I have like a day off and I'm like, I need to be doing something. When's the live stream? Oh, wait, no, I didn't schedule one.
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite where I've always done content videos. And I never did live streams because they were just the idea of doing a live stream was just so intimidating, you know? And so I dabbled by like going on a couple other people's and just kind of dabbling a little bit. But I decided this year, like, I really do want to do more live streams. But the problem with them too is with my schedule. Like, I can only stream early in the morning, and then you run into the risk of sleeping on your printer, or doing them late at night. So that's why I decided I was like, fine, I'm just going to do them early in the morning or late at night. And so that's kind of what I do is like, my goal is to do them on Tuesdays at like, I have to figure out the right time though, because I did a couple of them at 9 o'clock, or I scheduled one. I did successfully at 9, and then the next week it was supposed to be at 9, and then my kids would not go to bed, and I was like an hour and a half late to my own live stream, and I lost my co-host because my kids would not go to bed.
Oh,
And
no.
Sylvia was my co-host. She was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "My kids are going to bed." I'm like in the room, just like ripping out my hair. I'm like, "Please sleep." So now I'm like, maybe, but they always are asleep by like 8 o'clock. This was like the one time,
Of course.
the
Because
one
you're on
time
live
in this
stream.
month that they were not asleep by 8. And so I might push to like, I think I might do like 10 o'clock just to give me that buffer just in case, because that's about the time that I showed up for my own stream. So 10 o'clock Pacific time, but that makes it hard to have a co-host because so many of the people that I would be able to have co-hosts, they're either not on this coast, or even if they're like, "Well, that's 10 o'clock. Like, I'm going to bed now."
Right.
I might watch it on my phone in my jammies, but I'm not sitting on camera with you. But that's fine. That's fine. Like, I did one stream by myself, and it was fine. And I think also there's something kind of comforting about knowing that most of the people are sleeping, so that I can like get comfortable with it and stuff like that. Knowing that, like right now we have a few people watching, which is great, but which is fantastic. But I think I'd be much more nervous if there was like 20 people. I wouldn't remember my own name, so that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I love doing them, and I for the longest time I was able to do like Tuesdays, like every Tuesday, and I would flip and do like one Tuesday would be a morning one, and then the next Tuesday would be like a PM one. But my work schedule has changed where like I don't like now I work Monday through Friday, like 8 to 4:30 ish kind of.
Mhm.
So I can't do that anymore because now I have to do work, like big people things.
Right. What do you do for? I know you mentioned this before, but I forgot. What do you do?
So I'm a medical technologist. I work in the laboratory.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. And right now they're training me to actually work in microbiology, like where I actually like read the plates of like what's growing. Like if somebody has like an infection on like the heel of their foot, and they like take a swab and then put it on a petri dish type deal, but it's like the media that bacteria grows on, and then you have to determine like which one, like what is it and what do I do with it. But I'm learning how to like read the plates and then figure out like what do you have growing.
That's awesome.
I love it. Like microbiology has always been like my favorite. Like I loved it in college, but then when I got out into the field, usually the techs that become microbiologists are a lot older because they've been in the field for so long, and that's usually what happens. But then when I got like asked the opportunity if I wanted to read plates, I was like, of course I want to read plates. That's like why I got into the field. But I love it so much. But I also do like blood transfusions. So I like cross match blood to make sure it's compatible with like the donor and the recipient. And then
that's crazy. Tell me more about that, because I think I like alluded to it. I think it was in somebody's stream where I was just like, I'm not going to tell you like traumatize people with my crazy birth story, but like I needed 2 blood transfusions.
Was it when you had your kids?
Okay. I lost basically like I joke I lost half my blood, but that's because I needed like 1 was not enough. I needed 2 full like transfusions of 2 pints each, like so a total of like 4 pints of blood to stay alive. Wow. So I'm curious, like, so you said that like you match, so like in the moment, so like they'll be like, hey, we have this person that needs a transfusion, and you have to find them their blood.
Yes. So yeah, so like in the blood bank, and of course like sometimes there's like the emergency situations where, let's say like we didn't know like what your blood type was, like you were having your children and then things kind of went south and they didn't have like blood that was cross-matched and ready for you on the shelf. It's something that they call like an emergency release. So if like maybe in your situation, if it was kind of something that they weren't expecting and they didn't know your blood type and they didn't have like a sample on file, like to know your like an active blood type, it's kind of hard to explain.
No, I'm just trying to think. No, it totally makes sense. I'm just trying to go back to that time because I had like a C-section and stuff, but I'm like trying to think like, did they know my blood type? Like how would I, like I don't know if they knew, or like I'm sure that they maybe had done they probably had done some sort of testing ahead of time, because like I had a super high risk. I have twins, so like they had to be prepared for any and everything that could go wrong. So
and like if they were prepared, then usually they'll throw a few units of blood on the shelf of your blood type specifically. But if you didn't have and they had to do something called like an emergency release, it would be like O negative blood. So O negative is fine.
It's like the universal, right? That was everybody can get that.
Yeah, that's the universal one. So they could probably do that, and like that's when the physician will like sign for it to say like they're going to take the responsibility of like, you know, if anything. I don't want to freak anybody out if whoever's watching, but usually then the physician will take the responsibility to say, oh well, I'm saying yes because this is an emergency situation and this patient needs this. So like it could have been like in your situation if they hadn't been prepared and didn't have blood ready. But the long story short, I would be the person that would get the units ready. I would cross match it. I would put everything in the computer and then like tag the units, and then I issue it to the nurse or whoever comes down to like pick it up. I do like all of that stuff. And so then I also figure out like the blood types. So like we have analyzers that can do it for you, but we also have to know how to do it like manually, like with like pipettes. If the analyzer goes down, because like blood bank and like blood transfusion services is like, that's stat and critical information, and you can't be like, I'm sorry, you don't get a blood type because like an analyzer's down. Like, no, absolutely not.
Right, yeah.
Not how that works.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
So I feel like going back, I mean, my kids are so old, and I was honestly like, I don't even remember half of like what happened afterwards, but I just lost a lot of blood in surgery. But my kids both needed one. Like they needed a little transfusion of their little bodies, and then I needed 2. And so I feel like they probably were. I don't remember anybody being like, "Hey, we're gonna get your blood type," but I'm sure at some point, either during my pregnancy or like when I got to the hospital, they probably said, "Hey, in case you need a C-section, let's take some." They were doing. I don't know. I was being poked and prodded for days, and then it was a very traumatic experience. But
Oh, I'm sure.
afterwards, but the kids would not have had that because they had just been born, and so I'm sure that they probably had to do the emergency release for
Yeah.
like little bits of blood for their tiny little baby bodies. But they're doing I mean they're 6 now, so they're super healthy. But it was an interesting start.
Yeah, it sounds like an interesting start.
Yeah.
I would like to ask this, and you don't have to answer if you
Mhm.
don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
But like where you live, do you have like a large hospital, or is it
Mhm.
kind of like a smaller hospital?
So I live in like just outside of Portland, so I'm in the suburbs. So my doctor, one second, let me fix my light. Okay, so that's better. So my doctor was on like a smaller hospital. But from the second it was like, I'm having twins, okay, it was like, okay, so now you have two sets of doctors. And they had the larger hospital in Portland, and they have like specialists that also had an office in the same hospital that I would see my doctor at. And so it was like I was going to appointments like every week from the like most people go through their pregnancy like a couple of appointments every month, or like I don't know what a normal pregnancy is. Mine was like, okay, it's like every week, like every other week you're seeing somebody. And I flip between seeing my doctor to seeing the specialist because twins are super high risk. And so, because they just have to, like, it was the most terrifying thing too. They sit you down when you meet the specialist, and the doctor even says, this is the point where I have to scare you because I have to tell you every single possible thing that can ever go wrong with a twin pregnancy, and you're going to go home really stressed. But just know that these are just possibilities, and the vast majority of this is never going to happen. And then they sit there for 20 minutes telling you every possible thing that can go wrong with you or your children.
Yes.
A hormonal pregnant woman who has extra hormones because she's having twins. It was awful. But
Sure.
so my whole pregnancy though was super healthy up until the very end. Like literally, like I worked all the way up until the end, and then I went on my maternity leave, and I was supposed to have 2 weeks. I had like 4 days before I ended up having to be like rushed to like being induced and stuff, because I got sick at the very end of my pregnancy. But then once it was clear that I had preeclampsia, it was like, okay, my doctor's like, I can no longer be your primary physician. You can't deliver at this hospital. You have to go up to Portland. You have to deliver there because if something goes wrong, we can't take care of what you need. So I ended up being sent to the bigger hospital in Portland, which was the right decision because all things went wrong. So
So that was a great call on the doctors.
oh yeah, it was definitely because they were like, something's wrong with you, something's wrong with the kids. Like we don't have an adequate NICU. Like they had like a small NICU, but they had like the ability to do some things. But what I ended up needing was so much more involved. Like I remember when I went into there were like teams of people all throughout. There was somebody there for me. There was one for each child. There was some wound doctor guy because I was huge. I had 60 pounds of water retention.
Oh my goodness.
60 pounds of water swishing around in my, yeah, it was insane. And so they were worried. They didn't want to do a C-section because they were worried about what would happen when you like come in the water. I'm shocked people are still here. I'm so sorry. But it was just a concern. So they had people there to help make sure that, there wasn't like issues if I had a C-section, which I had. But it was definitely the best call because if I had delivered at my smaller hospital, they were not prepared for what my kids needed. One of my kids when he took his first breath, he popped a hole in his lung. So he was in the NICU for 2 weeks. Yeah, it was traumatic, but they are 6, they're healthy, they're happy, they're awake, and I can hear them, I don't know, talking downstairs.
And I could go on and on because I love my job and I love my career. I absolutely love it, and I'm a nerd when it comes to it. So I can talk all day, but I know we probably wanted to at least one more sprint. So
I need to make sure we're not traumatizing the rest of the people. We're talking about blood and C-sections and women.
But yeah, I love it. And I know I understand, but I'm on the other side of that.
Right, you're the person. No, that's such a cool thing though. Like, because it's not something that I've ever even thought about, is like all the back end stuff that went into, like, I remember my doctors, I remember my nurses, I remember the people that were there. One funny story. Okay, I find this to be hilarious. Every single person like in the medical field that I've ever told a story to does not find this to be funny. And even without like all the like, I was not up to my freaking eyebrows, okay, because I was about to go into surgery. So when they're going to like do the C-section thing, they like erect like the little thing with a little cloth thing so you can't see, what's going on down there. They dropped the bar on my head.
Oh my god!
And I'm just like laying there, just like bobbling my head around. I mean, I'm numb to like my hairline. Okay, like I feel nothing, and they were like so like, oh my god, just dropped. So yeah, they dropped the bar on my head.
Oh my gosh! It is kind of funny, but it's not.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I mean, out of everything else that happened, that was like the funniest thing. But I was the only person, apparently. Like, I told my husband, and they brought my husband, and I'm like, oh, they dropped the bar on my head. And I'm laughing, and he's just like, what is going on? And the lady's like, it is not funny. I'm like, lady, you're about to come home and take out kids. If I want to laugh, let me do it. Not the bar on my head. I mean, would you be happy that I'm laughing about it and not like I'm going to sue you?
Yeah, like you took it very well.
I was also like not there because I was going in for surgery, so like anything is funny when you're about to go into surgery. So
oh yeah, oh for sure.
Anyways, so let's go ahead. We have a comment from Jessica. She wants to know how everybody's 2021 is looking.
So far, so good. I'm enjoying my new schedule that work, and then also with like my AuthorTube and my writing, where I'm spreading it out more instead of doing a whole bunch on like 1 or 2 days, and I feel like that's working really well. So far, 2021 is great for me.
That's awesome. That's great.
And how about you?
I would say it's good. I think there's a discussion that we probably shouldn't have on this type of a stream, but I think that with everything that happened last week, those types of things affect me really hard. I'm just a very emotional person, and it's been a rough start after a rough year. I think just in our world, and COVID is still a thing. Like, I think that it's easy to be like, oh, it's a new year. Like, let's just forget about last year. But like, no, we can't. People are still sick and people are still dying. We're still in the middle of like, an attack on a democracy. But those things really affect me very deeply. So I'd love to be like, it's a fantastic year. I'm super happy. But there's some really serious things that I think, can't just be whisked underneath the rug. But I also like spent so much like time this week literally just like feeling like I need to consume every bit of information to the point where it's like detrimental. So then I'm like, okay, now I need to stop and I need to figure out like what is my actual like what were my goals for this year? I want to do 160 videos. I want to post like certain live streams. That means I need to film, and I actually have to read if I'm going to do a reading vlog. I have to go to work and do my job and like communicate and actually live my life. And so it's been a rough start for me personally to the year, but at the same time, it's better than last year so far.
Yeah. Agreed.
So how is your 2021 looking, Jessica? And I would love to hear, so like put in the comments like how everybody else is doing this year. And then I don't know how much time, because I know we kind of planned on, I think, going until like 8 my time, and I was a little late, so I don't know how much longer you have to do. Like, do you have time for one more sprint, or?
Yeah, did you want to do like maybe like a 10 or a 15?
Yeah, that works perfect.
Okay.
What do you want to do, 10 or 15?
Or 12, right in the middle.
We can do 12, yes. Let's do a 12-minute. Let's do 12 minutes. I think that's great.
Okay.
Especially because I feel small children downstairs. And Okay, that's perfect. So let's go ahead and start a 12-minute sprint right now.
Awesome.
gonna do with the last sprint.
Yay! Awesome. I did well. Let me do my word count. So I got 117 words that go wrong.
That's awesome. I love that, like, on the little e-reader thing, it tells you how far you are into each chapter. So I apparently am 65% through chapter 3. So
Nice.
yes, this book is really good. Yes, that's basically. Oh, and I did a little time lapse of me reading for my reading vlog, and everybody got to say hi to the vlog. So
Nice.
and this is the camera that I love more than my husband. So this is one of my
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
And then just got some more comments. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. That was really sweet. I was worried that nobody would want my goals video was long. Like, I think I had over 30 goals. So I'm trying to keep them up. And then I posted a planner video. I have 4 planners that I need to update. I was gonna do like a plan with me video this week, but I actually do my planner with my kids. So I thought about doing some stuff during the sprint, like the productivity sprint, but I actually saved that all. And it's so cute. Like, I even have like this old, like, little, like, it was my attempt at a bullet journal. I gave that notebook to one of my kids. And so when I do my planners, like, he gets his little planner ready, and like he puts stickers in his planner and like draws inside this little planner. It's the cutest thing. So when we finish this, I'm gonna print out some new like stickers for the planner.
That is so sweet.
Yeah, it's great. So like I've decided, I think instead of doing plan with me videos, I might do like a planner flip through at the end of the month, because I don't want to not do planner video, or like not do my planner with my kids because I want to film it. I'd rather just take all of our stickers and make a mess of their room. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that your 2021 is looking really good.
Awesome.
I'm making my debut feature film, and debut book is coming out. Oh my gosh, it's so many things at one time. That is so exciting. So you're doing a film and a book. That is fantastic. Oh my god, that's some goals right there. I'd love to hear more about that next time. Let's see, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody, oh my gosh, and I did not, I'm going to quickly throw all of your information into like the description at the end, so you guys like don't, as soon as we end the stream, like stay on for a minute. So I'm going to link on channel. I think instead of a description I wrote ... because I was going to go back and fill it in later, and I think that's literally all I have for a description right now. So I will go through like right away, and I will add a link to where you can go subscribe to Autumn. In fact, what you're saying goodbye, I think I'll just do that. Let's just do that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I appreciate that, but that's so sweet.
So yeah, so then I will put a link to where to like follow you, and then tell them, all the goodbye things, like when you post and what they should follow.
Sure. Sorry, you kind of like broke up a little bit there.
Oh yeah, my computer, I'm trying to do more than one thing, so I think that's why.
No, you're fine. But I think you said do an outro, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't just want to start talking about myself and you'd be like, that is not what I said.
No, please do. Talk about yourself.
Sure. I'll do my best. So I'm Autumn Ashley. Again, I am another author-tuber here on YouTube. I'm currently working on my YA fantasy novel called Project Brina. I think I have a working title for it. Not 100% sure, but I am excited about that. I also do content videos, sit-down videos, vlogs, and I do occasional live streams. I don't have any more live streams on my channel this month. I try to do maybe 1 or 2 each month. But the rest of my live streams will be on other AuthorTubers channels. I believe my next one is next Sunday on Zara's channel. But yeah, that is me.
That is awesome. Well, thank you so much. It was so fun. Like we've chatted in comments before, and I've been on live stream. Like, this is our first time to like chat together, and I had so much fun. So thank you so much. And you guys, if you have just kind of popped into my channel for the first time, I am Amara. I make mostly sit-down content and vlogs, but I'm going to be doing more live streams, mostly late at night when my children are sleeping, or once. My goal is to do one Sunday live stream around this time, and next time I will not fall asleep on my printer when I should be going live. I'm legit on my printer. So yeah, but I will be doing, I think I'm going to do like the second Sunday of a month, so that way there's a little structure to it. So one Sunday live stream. I'll put more information like as I decide my schedule for it, but one Sunday, and then every Tuesday I will do a late night live stream. And yeah, so that's kind of the plan. And of course, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, there's a button down below. You can do that. And you can also go to my Instagram. And there's also, so my Instagram is just Instagram, and my handle is at _ Amara Franklin. Or you can also go to at the Indie Bookworm if you want to follow my book box as well, because I run a book subscription box for indie authors. Other than that, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us both today. Go write some words and read a book, and I will see you guys very soon.